Previously on Mark on Motoring. At the end of the last video we'd just got the cooling system all back together, reassembled the front of the car and a few other jobs. Then we decided to turn our attention to future jobs, one being this rather badly worn out engine mount. Now, having an engine mounted directly on the subframe is great on the production line because you can assemble all the components ahead of time, bring the body along the line and simply make the two together easily and job done. But things get a little more complicated 24 years down the line when you've got parts that need replacing, especially if you can't even get the wheels off the car because the locking wheel nut gear's failed on you. So that's a job I've covered in a previous video as well. With the wheels off and parts finally beginning to arrive for the Mégane, we can now start work again. So first off, we sprayed a little bit of lube just to loosen up some of those bolts before we try to remove them, hopefully prevent them from snapping. So using having the car and axle stands, we've used a trolley jack with some old bits of scrap wood under the engine sump, just to take some of the load off as we try to unbolt these engine mounts. So today's job is engine mounts, and one of the bolts is here on the power steering pump. So another one at the front, which is even harder to get to, probably the easiest one to get to, is the one directly underneath the subframe. So need to get in here with a 16mm spanner. The one size I don't have a ratchet for, so I'm stuck with a ring spanner. There's not enough room to get a socket in here. So I've pre-soaked all these nuts in penetrating oil as well, just to loosen them up a little bit. Buy a classic car, they said. It'll be fun, they said. Front I'm really not looking forward to doing, because having put all the new radiator in and all the cowling around it and the bumper back on, I think access could be a bit of an issue. So with the top two bolts off now, we've just got one bolt left here under the near side of the subframe. So 16mm socket. Strangely enough, this bumper, which ideally should have been removed, we've got a little cut out there. I can't tell if that's original or if someone's actually done that to change one of these in the past. But either way, it fits. So we've got the cars on axle stands obviously, and we've got the trolley jack with some wood underneath just to take the weight off the engine. Take the weight of the engine, sorry, off the subframe. Nearly there. And there's the last nut off. Right, let's put this safe and then we'll try and get this one taken out. separate this mount, slide it off from the side. So close. Almost there. There's the mount sat on the subframe, and there's the power steering pump. Got that loosened off, it just needs a little bit more room. So after a bit of a pulling, there we go. There is our old engine mount. That side on the subframe, this piece on top. And as you can see, that you've got two metal parts and then a rubber between. And that rubber has completely perished. There's nothing left of that at all. So no wonder there were a lot of vibration coming through from cold start. So by comparison, there is our new one. Bit of a difference. Right, let's get this new one back on now. We've seen two sets of torque figures for the nuts for the engine mount. So the top ones I've seen 40 Newton meters, but admittedly I can't get in there anyway with anything other than a very small spanner. The one underneath is quite easy to access with a 16mm socket, so we can torque that one up. The figures I've seen, one set suggested it was 60 Newton meters, another one I saw on a diagram showed it was 45, so to be on the safe side we're going to go with 45 Newton meters on the torque wrench. So we'll set that one now. About there. Put our 16mm socket and extension. There we go, hear that click. Sorted, another job ticked off. Well, that really was a job I weren't looking forward to, but other than one stubborn bolt that I couldn't really get into, it wasn't too bad a job at all. Just using the jack to take the weight of the engine to allow me to slide out the engine mount. So, next job on the list is going to be the anti-roll bar under here, which I'll bring you in a bit closer. So, anti-roll bar underneath here, so it doesn't look too bad. Look, a little bit of the paint flaking away, but otherwise it doesn't look in bad condition. Again, I've sprayed a bit of lubricant to try and loosen off the bolts a little bit. So we've got two D bushers to go in, which sits somewhere back here under the body of the car. So that'll be the next job to get on with. I do hope that you've enjoyed this latest video. and if you have done, perhaps consider subscribing to the channel. It doesn't cost you anything, and being that it's a smaller channel here, we may not pop up on your regular feed, so if you hit the subscribe button and hit the bell button, that way you'll get notifications every time I post a video update on this vehicle, or indeed any of the other videos I've been producing. Replacing these badly crazed debushers will be the focus of our next video. Thanks for watching. Bye bye.